What is going on, my fellow nerds? AbrazivOtter here with a new and final guide to Season 10, alright? Now, we're going to be covering experience. And why we're doing this is because this is basically the end of the season, guys. Like, this is the end content. You've now got your build, you've got your gear, you've got your group. Now it's just a paragon race. We need to inflate our main stat as high as fucking possible so that we can complete the highest GR that we can in the push in the last week of the season, right? So we need to understand experience. Now, I apologize for not putting out any videos in the last 3 to 4 weeks, and the reason being for this is because of this project. It was a month-long project, guys. It was a lot of work. We got thousands of points of sample data, and with the help of my members, Khaladas and StevenSeagal, we were able to bring it to a close with solid data that matches perfectly exactly why people are doing what they're doing in the meta right now, which is those GR83s, and we're going to explain how that all works. So without further ado, let's get into it, all right? So the first thing we need to understand is the basics of experience, right? So how does the scaling work? Well, from Paragon 1 to 750 or 1 to 1000, we can't confirm this. And the reason being is because we're above 1000, so we can't test it. But we got multiple sources saying 750 and half of them are saying 1000. And we don't know really which one it is, but we are thinking it's 1000 because the ones that are saying 750 are from older posts back in like Season 6 and Season 7. And then the other ones saying 1000 are like Season 7, Season 8. And they got beautiful charts. I'll try to leave those in a link in the description below so that you guys can see that. But basically what happens is that like once you hit Paragon 750 or 1000, your experience kind of flattens out and it doesn't exponentiate anymore. It just kind of constant. It's still an exponential factor, but it's only 0.03%. All right, so me being at Paragon 1700, it still takes twice as much XP than someone Paragon 1000 because you take 700 and you multiply it by 0.03. That's 210%. It requires me more than 2 times more XP than you at Paragon 1000. It makes sense, right? But it's so small that it's almost constant. All right. The second thing that we need to understand is that every 10 GRs, tongue twisters, from GR 1 to 70 will double your XP. But once you hit Grift 70, every 15 GRs will double your XP. All right, so try to understand that. Now, pools are really awesome. We're going to get into why that is, but they don't give a flat 25% increase. We'll get to that in just a second. Now, the scaling XP in Grifts, this is something that we really need to understand and why they are working the way they are. The first thing we understand is the turn in XP via the quest of turning in the experience from the guy gives you a static amount, all right? So at Grift 70, it's going to give you 8.816 billion XP every single turn. It doesn't matter how many times you do it, it's going to be that much. But the XP that you gather in the Grift varies because there's different mob types. How many blues? How many whites? How many yellows? What's the mob density? What type of mobs? So what type of map? There's just so many variables, right? Well, over 300 Grifts, we were able to get an average of 6.434. And then there's that one Grift that we had that was at 5.9. There's that one Grift that we had that was at 7.1, all right? Very, very rare to happen, but the average was about 6.434 billion, all right? Now, the scaling of the turn-in XP gained per Grift level increase is 5% flat, all right? So when you turn in a Grift, it will be 5% more than 8.816 at GR70. So that's the GR71. It'll be 5% flat more than that, all right? And that 5% flat is true all the way up forever. We did it all the way up to 110s, and it's still flat 5%, all right? The scaling XP in a Grift, though, is a bit different. It's lower, all right? It's only 4.64 to 4.66. There's a lot of variation with this. Even with our 300 runs, it was still very in between there, all right? But we were able to come out to, it was a pretty solid amount of 4.85. It was really like 4.853, but we're just going to keep it at 4.85 to give us some pretty solid numbers, all right? It's not to modify the data into what we want or to force feed the data into what we want to happen, but 4.85% is a very good average number that we were able to obtain, all right? Now, pools, the scaling is not 25%. It's a lot more than that, and for the life of us, we cannot figure out the formula. Every single variation we did, we just couldn't figure it out, but what we can tell you is what the actual scaling is, and that was constant every time. It worked every single time. It was constant. Now, when you do a Grift without a pool, and then you get a pool, and then you turn it in, you're going to get 32.5% more XP than if you did it with no pool. And if you grab the pool beforehand and then die during the entire Grift and then turn it in, you're going to get 45% more XP. So that's really, really awesome. And we tested that with 50 GR70s, no pool, and then pool unclosed, and then pool the entire way through. So that was pretty solid. So now what we need to understand is, like, what is the best GR? Well, we can't give you an answer to that because there's just too many variables. Like, some people can complete other grifts faster than others. Some people bullshit in between the rifts. Some people don't know how to find pools. Some people like to take smoke breaks. Some people have babies and have to take care of them. Some people have wives and girlfriends that won't stop bitching at them for everything that they do. It doesn't matter. There's just so many variables that we can't like give you an exact number. But what we can do is we can give you nice, uniform, solid averages, I guess you could call them, and put them into a chart so that you guys can kind of get a basic idea of what's going to work best for you and your group. So without further ado, let's get into that chart. All right, guys, so this is the chart. All right, like I said, the link is in the description below, so you can go ahead and click that and it'll bring this up. All right, so what we need to note about this, what is important, is that every single +% that we get here, all the way down to every single value that we get, is all comparative to this one right here. All right, this is a 90-second Grift 75 with no pool. All right, that is what everything is compared to, and this really helps because you can say, well, Otter, my team is able to do 75s in 2 minutes, but then for like some reason we're able to do 85s in 300 seconds. So which one's better? Okay, well, if we look over here, we can say that, you know, 75s are 28.5%, and we can say that those 85s that you're talking about in 300 is 22.96%. So it looks like those 75s are better for you than the 85s. So you should probably do those Grift 75s, even though you feel like you can do those 85s quite faster. It's not. It doesn't work out that way. So the way that we're calculating this is that you have your time, and in each chart is a different time. It's the same Grift levels. It's just different times that I'm giving you guys, because some people, like I said, can complete it in 90 seconds, and some people it takes, you know, 2.5 minutes. All right. So I've kind of accounted for that and given that to you guys. But here's the kicker. There's times in between the Grifts, like I said. All right. And this is where it kind of gets iffy. Now, instead of just saying, oh, we're just going to do full bore, like 90 seconds runs per hour. No, because you still have to get keys. All right, so that still is a factor. All right, so what I did was I said, all right, you're going to run 2 Grifts, and then you're going to run a Rift. And in that Rift, you're going to get guaranteed 2 keys in the T13, and you're going to get a pool every time. All right, 100%. It works every time, never fails. All right, so the Rift time, all right, is about 2 minutes and 30 seconds, which is 150 seconds. But we want to add it to each Grift time, right? We're running 2 Grifts, so we divide it by 2. And it's the same thing with the salvage and shards. I'm giving you 60 seconds to identify, salvage, and spend your shards, all right? It's very, very generous. So it's 30 seconds on top of each. And then your gems, or upgrading gems and then reopening the Grift, it's 40 seconds every time. We tested it over like 500 Grifts. It's 40 seconds, all right? So we add 145 seconds to each Grift time, all right? That's how it works. And then we take that total amount, we take 3,600, which is the amount of seconds and hours, and divide it by that, and that's how many runs per hour we get. And then what we have to do is we have to take that runs per hour, and we have to multiply it by all these values being the pool at the close, the pool full, no pool, 4-man experience gain, the exponential experience gain, which is what this Grift variable is for. Don't pay attention to that. That is for calculation purposes. And this is what you get on top of everything, all right? Now, it looks like 2-minute 80s is kind of like our key point. All right, if we can do 2-minute 80s, this is like dank. All right, that's the most amount of XP we can gain per hour. This is for speed compositions, though. All right, meta compositions, it starts to change a little bit. We can see that if we were able to run 11-minute 104s or less, we get more XP than the 2-minute Grift 80s per hour. But you're like, Otter, why aren't you including these ones? Because these ones give you more. Yeah, they do, but they're super map dependent, mob dependent, and you're probably going to die. And if you die, then you have to take these values, in which case the 108s are going to give you more XP. So if you can do 12.5-minute 108s consistently, never fail, and then turn in a pool at the end, all right, cool. Just know that you're going to be wasting time searching for pools at the end every single time, rather than just staying alive the whole Grift. So, I mean, that's up to you guys, but the 104s are definitely very, very nice to run. So every single percentage is comparative. So you can compare this percent to that percent, or this percent to that percent, whatever, because it's all baselined off of this one right here. There is color codes for you guys to read it up here, like what it means in terms. So you have to take into account like your chance of death as you're increasing the Grift level, and your chance of completion and everything like that. So this is what the chart means. I hope you guys are able to read it easily. I hope I was able to explain it clearly. So what is the best in terms of XP per hour, right? Well, what we can see is from the chart, it seems that GR 80s 2 minutes and the 104s in 11 minutes are the best, right? Not really. They are the best for about 99% of the players out there. But then there's that 1%. All right, there are those people who do nothing but play the game and have absolutely optimized builds and know how to play those builds mechanically just perfect. This guy and a couple others. All right, what we found was with my group, we have 3 light wizards, all paragon 1700 plus, 3.7 million plus sheet DPS on their wizards, just absolutely optimized, quadfecta, trifecta, full, you name it, we have it. It's retarded. And we were able to do GR 83s in 2.5 minutes average. And we were just slamming through these. And it was ridiculous the amount of XP per hour we got. Now, the exact numbers, according to the chart that we were getting, was 68.72% compared to 92nd 75s unpooled. And that's only 5.78% more than the GR 80s at 2 minutes per hour. But to professionals, doesn't matter. That's the best. It doesn't matter if it's an inch or a mile. Winning's winning. So this is the best way to get XP. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, this is the last video for me in Season 10, as this is pretty much the last part. You know, once you get your gear, once you figured out how to run everything, now it's just a paragon race. So I wish you guys best of luck in your racing to get paragon. I wish you best of luck in your pushes. For now, I'm going to turn it over to one of the 83s that we did in under 2 minutes. You guys can kind of see what you need to do in that. For now, I'm AbrazivOtter, and as always, take it easy. I'll see you guys in the PTR for the Necro. I'll see you guys in Season 11.